What's going on? Matt Plapp here, and I want to talk about how $235.86 in Facebook and Instagram ads turned into $4,177 in sales, and more importantly, a database of 1,048 customers in just under 3 weeks. This is what we do. We help restaurants leverage the attention from their marketing to build a engaged audience that raises their hand and tells us who they are, name, phone number, email address, and more importantly, driving trackable, tangible sales on the front end so that we know we're on the right path. So let me tell you a story. Let me walk you down what this restaurants program looked like and give you a feel for why we do what we do. See, this is a client we've worked with for about 18 months, and the state that they were in during the pandemic forced him to shut down a lot of what he was doing and actually shut down everything we were doing for him for 3 months. Recently, he came back on board, and I said, you know what? We're not going to worry about the current database that's in there, but that's next step. I want to get your social media going. I want to get some virality going. I want to get new people coming in. I want to figure out who around your store is an opportunity to become a customer, because what's happened in this guy's community is that people who used to work near him are working from home now. People that live near him are working from home. So we've got a different customer base and different opportunities. So I'm going to show you how in 3 weeks we spent $235.86, gained $4,177 in sales, and built a database of 1,048 for text, email, and a lot of birthdays. But more importantly, that database isn't the $4,100 in sales on the front end. It's the 25 to 30 grand on the back end, because he owns the database. He can go back to it over and over and over. So real quick, I want to talk about what we do and why we do it. So we help locally owned and operated restaurant owners put their message in front of their customers on a weekly basis. Our goal is to help you reach the people who you should be reaching via Facebook, Instagram, whether they're on ESPN or Yahoo or Google, or they're in text messages, they're in Messenger, they're in their email. We want to reach them every week in their phone. Ask yourself this. When you look around your restaurant, when you look around stoplights, when you look around the grocery store, what is one common thing in everybody's hand? It's their mobile device. The problem is you're not putting your message there enough for people to see it. We have found through our strategies that there is one way to succeed in marketing, and that is to stop renting your audience. The bottom path is what happens with the majority of advertising dollars by restaurants. They are spending their ad dollars to drive sales. You need to stop doing that. You need to spend your money to build your database, because guess what? When you spend your money to build a database, you own that. Ask yourself, why can a radio station charge $200 to $300 per commercial? Because they have cultivated an audience. They have people that follow them, that know them, that like them, that trust them. They've built that audience. You're renting it. Why does Facebook have the ability to do the same thing? Because they've cultivated people that log in every day, hundreds of times a day, to look at Facebook or Instagram. You need to figure out a way to take the people off of there and into your world, so that the dollars you spend every month are to attract new people, not the same people, because that's a key element. If you're running an ad on the far left and targeting people on Facebook and Instagram, there's a pretty good chance your ad's being seen by the same people over and over and over. You might think that's great. I think it's terrible. Why is it terrible? Because you should be using that ad to acquire their data, and then using your data to let them see you over and over and over. What I mean by that is email, text, and some very structured retargeting. So we found that there are 3 opportunities for restaurants to grow your business. Obviously, you need new customers. You definitely need repeat customers, and you must increase the average check size. The problem with all of these is they all revolve around one thing: knowing who your current customers are. What do I mean? I mean that in order to find the right new customers online, you have to have a database and a program that helps you target new customers correctly based on the current people. In order to eliminate the old hope and pray of getting people to come back for dinner, you've got to have their information to drive repeat visits. This past Friday night, we did a video on a place called The Gruff down in Covington, Kentucky. We're going to release it this week. And it's a great restaurant. And they found me exactly how they should. A customer had a great experience, told me about it. I went to Yelp to find a new restaurant for a friend of mine who was in town. I'm like, oh, crap, there's that Gruff place. I went down there. We had a good meal. Am I going to go back? Who knows? It's not really close to my house. It's not convenient for me near work or where I live. But if they had my information, they could get me back. But right now they don't. And they're relying on hope and pray to get repeat customers. And then increasing the average check size. Unfortunately, too many restaurants depend on their staff to increase the average check, when in fact you should be depending on your digital marketing to influence consumers' decisions. We do this 3 ways. We identify 3 key customers. Who are your new customers? Who are your frequent customers? And who are your lost customers? Our goal is on a weekly basis to have a different conversation with each one of those. Here's the 6 steps that we do. 3 steps with 6 sections. Step 1, gain attention and build a database. And I'm going to show you how we took attention from a Facebook ad and built a database. What I mean by that is you can put a Facebook ad and Instagram out there. You can put a ad on ESPN out there. You can put a radio ad, a direct mail piece. You're getting attention. Everybody's doing that. That's the entire concept of marketing. The thing you're not doing is you're not getting people that are getting that attention from to raise their hand and say, yes, I'm Matt Plapp. My email is matt@mattplapp.com. My cell phone is 859-743-2408. My birthday is May 17th. You're not getting them to tell you that from that ad, which means you're not building a database. The second step, the third and fourth part of this program, is you're not proving that the database you're building, if you are building one, is worthwhile. We are. Our biggest element that we do is, okay, are we on the right path? Are the people who have raised their hand going to actually walk in here and spend money? And then what else can we find out about them? And the reason that front-end sales is important is for 2 things. Number 1, attribution. We have positive attribution that we're on the right path. Number 2, it helps us recoup some of our ad spend. It's not the end-all be-all. Our goal is not to have thousands and thousands of dollars there to get everything back. It's to get a small portion of the ad spend. In this case, this client, a couple $100. Well, how do we get $900? You'll say we did better than that. Step 3, our 5th and 6th element, is long-term nurture. What are you going to do to talk to your customers down the road? We build an email and text database, and then also a retargeting audience on social media. Now we can reach out to these people in month 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So like customers like the Matt that went to the Gruff last week, you can get them back more often. So here's the ad. And this isn't complete rocket science. And you'll see that the social proof when I took this on the front end, the ad was posted September 8th. I did this screenshot about a week and a half, 2 weeks in, because I was pretty impressed with how good the traction was getting. This is one of a bunch of ads. This isn't the only one. There's about 6 different versions of this that have different calls to action, different CTAs. And I'm going to give you a couple key elements of this. Number 1, we got attention. If you look at this, these aren't gorgeous pictures. These aren't lit correctly. These aren't with a gorgeous model holding it and cheese coming off of it. These aren't what a lot of companies think have to be out there. These are pictures on an iPhone of their actual pizza. And why we did 4 was we wanted to relate to other people. The meat pizza, the cheese pizza, the one with the veggies. We want to get people's eyes going somewhere else. So number 1, that's a key element. Organic pictures that people will stop by. Consumers' eyes aren't stopping on a professionally produced photo as often as they're stopping on this, because this looks like something they would take. And they're like, "Ooh, that looks pretty good." Second part, you see that see more right there at the end of the post? We put enough text in this that consumers are forced to click see more to find out what else they need to do. Underneath there, of course, is a link that takes them where we want them to go to give us their information. So we just got attention and we got engagement. The next step was building the database. Now here's something awesome. This is proof like you wouldn't believe. So this is the client's program. And you can see May, June, July, August, the program was not live during the pandemic due to closures and just a lot of things in their business that changed, like all of you are accustomed to in 2020. So you can see that February, again, our program spends about $300 a month in ads on Facebook and Instagram. Our goal on that $300 is to get a 3 to 4 to 1 return for our clients on the front end so that they get their ad spend back. You can see in February down here on the bottom, $4,595 in sales from a $300 ad spend. That I think that's doing the job. That's a pretty solid return. If you go to the next month, same thing, $4,300. The next month, April, $4,300. That's when COVID really hit hard in his area, or $3,400. And then May, June, July, August, it was, oh crap, what are we doing? So September, we decide, okay, we got to jumpstart this thing. We start this September, what was the date on that post? September 8th. So we start this thing up and we go for 3 weeks in September. And you can see we're at levels above the February full force. And February is a big month for them. So if I look at that, we're at 3,860 divided by 3. If I do that times 4, September would have been close to $5,200, biggest month they've had this year. January was around $4,500 as well. Why? Because we reached out to people that needed to know about this brand. And if you look at the top, and by the way, we haven't even talked about, we're going back to in October, November, December, back to the database we've built for the last 18 months. We're revisiting that. We wanted to get some social proof going first, and now we're going to kind of clean up the old database. So if you look at the top part, this is going to show you what's happened on a daily and weekly basis. So this 982, this screenshot up top was taken on around October 1st. This email, I did an email every Friday with a different case study, and those stats go out on Fridays. I do this for my team to say, here's some of the stuff for the email, and then the following Tuesday, I do a video on it. So you can see 30 days prior, they had spent very last, which is basically from October 1st back to the first week of September, they had spent $235.86 on ads. Those ads got a lot of attention. Actually, specifically, let me pull up and tell you what they got. We had 24,000 people reached, 53,000 impressions, 2,100 post engagements, and it drove those 1,048 opt-ins. Now, the next step of that is we got the attention, we got the engagements, we got 1,048 people to raise their hand and give us their information. The next step is making sure those people are the right people. Well, 121 of them walked in the restaurant. So right around 10% have already said, I'm your person, give me some food. And they've spent $4,100. And the reason that's a little different is there's on the very bottom chart, there's a day or two into October when this was taken. And you can see there were some sales that Thursday night. One at the bottom was taken, I think, on the Wednesday. So we look at the program and we say 128 came in and spent $4,100, average check of $34, ad spend 17 to 1 return. Then if you look back at the prior days, I mean, heck, just look at the yesterday, the second line. They had $9.82 spent in one day. They had 49 people raise their hand and say, here's my information. And they had 10 people walk in the restaurant for $317.08. That's a 32 to 1 ratio. I want to ask you, are you able to see that type of pull through from your marketing for your restaurant? And I want to tell you the restaurants that we have found that work best with us and our program and our team. Number one, restaurant owners and operators that work in their restaurant at a local basis. So if you're a restaurant operator that is involved in the operation of your restaurants on a daily basis on a local level, that's a good fit for us. The second element, are you a restaurant owner whose team or yourself are actively engaged in marketing your business on social media? Because just like if I don't eat pizza, I might not appreciate the best pizza in the world. If you don't use social media to market your business, you don't use email and text marketing, you don't use the internet to reach your customers on their phones, then we're probably not a good fit. And the third element is a very key one. Do you have a solid brand with a lot of five-star reviews online? Looked at a client of ours the other day. We actually pulled up 10 clients. We have a couple hundred clients, pulled up a 10 and said, look, why are these 10 unbelievable? They had a lot of five-star reviews on Google, Yelp, and Facebook and TripAdvisor. And our team of 20 plus understands what it takes to take a brand like that to the next level, because that's what we do. We only work with restaurants. We have the team that works on the most social media ads for restaurants in the entire country. And we've been doing this longer than anybody else. We've pioneered the systems we use to help restaurants get attention, gain engagement, build a database, drive some sales on the front end, and then nurture your database long-term so that you're in your customers' hands every single week. That's all I got. Matt Plapp, if you want to hit me up on my cell phone, 859-743-2408. If you're a restaurant owner or operator and you're looking to do things differently and grow your business and need help with what I just showed you, that is my cell phone, 100%. It's not a different number. That's what I've had for a long time as my number. The link below will take you to a place you can schedule a consultation where we'll sit down, me or somebody from my team, depends on who you pick. We'll go through and show you what we do, but more importantly, we're going to look at what you do first and find out if you're a good fit. Do you fit the criteria that I just mentioned, the 3 things we know that work for us? And then we look at what you're doing and see if we can help. And if we can help, we'll show you exactly what we do and show you how to get rocking. We usually get live with clients within 5 days. So there it is, restaurantroi.live/Matt if you want to schedule an appointment. That's all I've got. I appreciate your time today. I will see you around and have a safe day.